Today I would like to talk about a very controversial topic. I would like to talk about and debate trans athletes. Trans athletes currently face challenges through current policies when it comes to competing as a transgender athlete. In addition, there is a clear inequality between the regulations of trans female athletes and trans male athletes. So, for a resolution of today, we would like to say that this house would provide a solution that will foster competition and ultimate performance while considering the athletic challenges of being a transgender athlete. So, I would like to give some definitions this evening, and I would like to state first what a trans athlete is. It is an athlete who was born biologically female or a male, but identify with the opposite sex or has had a procedure in which they have transitioned to the opposite sex. Trans woman, is specifically, that is my second definition, is biological men who identify as women or have gone through a process of transitioning to being a woman or a female. I apologize. And third, cisgender. It is a gender identified that matches with the one assigned at birth. And lastly, I would like to define what the IOC stands for. It stands for International Olympic Committee. And for our criteria of our debate, I would like to point out that we want to protect our athletes. We want to protect the nature of sport, and we want to be inclusive, and we want fairness. And that is what we're seeking. We're seeking fairness, and we're seeking for a change that is imminent to come. So let's get started. First, I would like to discuss our significance. This house believes the issue lies within the fact that testosterone testing does not ensure fairness for cisgender women athletes when competing against trans women athletes. And we have seen studies in many cases, according to the Fair Play for Women Research Director, Dr. Nicola Williams, in many articles has argued that any reduction of testosterone, even to zero, wouldn't actually reverse the male performance advantages that someone has when they go through puberty as a male, because we can't reverse that. That has already occurred. So for our second point, I would like to continue to harms. This house believes that non-trans women have an unfair disadvantage due to testosterone level differences in comparison to trans women. Like the World Athletic Organization, Dr. Behrman, a member of the IAF and the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, have revealed in a research that, among other things, the study found that in certain events, female athletes with high testosterone levels benefit from a 1.8% to 4.5% competitive advantage over female athletes with lower testosterone levels. This is actual data representing that there is an unfair advantage. Whether they want or they're seeking it or not, it is a physiological advantage. So third, we would like to continue to inherency. This house believes that the core cause of the problem lies in the fact that most trans women athletes went through puberty as males, hence developing with a higher percentage of testosterone and a greater muscle mass level and a male-prone physiological capability. In addition, this house believes that the current monitoring of trans women testosterone levels creates inequality within the male and female categories due to the fact that they go through extra testing and hormonal altercations, which can be detrimental to their physiological health. For instance, an article through the New York Times explains how medical and ethical questions have arisen about whether any woman should be required to lower the testosterone levels just to play sports. The United Nations has called required hormone suppression unnecessary, humiliating, and harmful. And there continues to be vigorous debates about the extent to which testosterone provides a decisive advantage to athletic performance. So we go back to the same question. First of all, there is an advantage. Second of all, is it necessary to be testing even women who are not trans women, cis women? Is it necessary to put them through the same kind of testing? Is that fair? Those are the questions we are arguing this evening. For our plan, we like to continue that this House, the International Olympic Committee, advocates for an expansion of the competition categories. We want to have a transgender division, which will allow for a greater cross-functional competition. For instance, research conducted by Alice and Heather at the University of Otago in New Zealand recommended creating a separate category for athletes who do not wish to be restricted by gender or sex-based regulations, or applying handicaps similar to those used in the Paralympic athletes that account for differences in characteristics such as testosterone levels, hemoglobin levels, and endurance capacity. We have seen this before. We can compare it to the Olympics, so we can see and we can base our efficiency and how it will work if we continue with this plan. For our mandate this evening, we would like to assure that trans athletes must compete within the separate category according to the gender that they identify with if they choose to. And for agency, the Olympic Committee will provide an oversight and enforcement of such rulings. And lastly, for our solvency, we have multiple benefits to adopting this plan. Trans athletes will be recognized and compete accordingly without having to compromise their identity. This is extremely important. And in addition, specifically for trans female athletes, they will not have to go through detrimental health procedures. For instance, undergoing through testosterone level altercations in order to fit the female category, hence allowing them to maximize their physiological abilities while remaining true to their gender. Also, there will be no such thing as testing for gender, which diminishes the importance of gender and identity for athletes. As a sports writer, David Epstein, explained, human biology does not break down into male and female as politely as a sport governing bodies wish it would. Sex is not a binary system established by a singular qualification. There can be females who are biologically females, who identify as females, who have higher testosterone levels than some men. That does not mean they are male. So setting these parameters will ensure fair testing and competition. In conclusion, voting for this resolution provides a broader and more forward-thinking category within the IOC, therefore reflecting our current society and its inclusion and recognition to the trans community. Moving forward in sports is a necessary path to take. Sports must not remain conservative while society progresses. We must continue to change. Thank you.